Everyone talks about this dark, divine, feminine, pussy power energy as if it's supposed to just be overly humble, overly soft, peaceful, and turning the other cheek. And, oh, it's okay. That's all right. Like, I don't have any boundaries at all. I'm going to forgive you 70 times 70 because that's what Jesus would do. But this has been the perspective that has kept us stuck and stagnant and brokenhearted and choosing to be in unhealthy, toxic environments and relationships, fake frenemy friendships. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Part of being in our dark feminine energy means being able to tap into both our light and our dark, our angel and our demons, not just be beauty, but also be beast. This is the power. When we do this work in and on ourselves via our root chakra and raise that power and that energy up, that Kundalini serpent fire dragon energy up. This is the power that alchemizes our life. This is the power that alchemizes our relationships, our friendships, the types of jobs and careers we decide to enter into, our beauty, our magnetism, our money. I don't know about y'all, but not being tapped into my dark divine energy and erotic purpose not only kept me broken, but it also kept me broke, right? It kept me chasing money as opposed to understanding or putting myself in a position to understand money so that I can attract it, can magnetize it to me. Not being in your purpose and your power, not doing the work in and on your root chakra, in and on your pussy, keeps you out of alignment with your purpose and your power, thus keeping you out of alignment with money, thus keeping us broken and broke, right? Keeping us broken out, skin breaking out and shit, right? Not doing this work in and on your root chakra keeps you out of alignment with your power and your purpose, thus keeping you out of alignment with money, beauty, and magnetism. Yeah. Right. Wondering why your skin breaking out? Not being in alignment with your purpose and your power. Why aren't you in alignment with your purpose and your power? Because we haven't learned how to commune with our pussy so it can guide us to our purpose and our power and our beauty and our magnetism. Don't you know your pussy, your Kundalini serpent energy risen up through your body to your crown so that you can be crowned sitting on the throne of your power and your purpose? Don't you know that that serpent dragon's job is to guide you to how to take care of yourself? How to take care of your skin, how to take care of your body, how to get that weight off that's been stubborn and stagnant, how to clear that skin when you're trying to figure out what's going on, why I keep stuck in stagnant energy in your body. Your serpent Kundalini dragon fire will teach you how to beautify yourself. It will guide you into everything you're supposed to become and everything you're supposed to unbecome. The problem is this is a part of our dark, divine, feminine energy that we have been taught to suppress and demonize and vilify, even over sexualize. Now, I am a certified sexuality educator, notwithstanding my bachelor's in sociology, notwithstanding earning my master's, in psychology. I'm also a certified comprehensive sexuality educator. Okay. And I know for a fact that women who haven't done this work in and on themselves are out here teaching pussy power, sensual energy, and sexual energy, who haven't even done the mental and emotional and spiritual work you're supposed to do in and on yourself to even access this ancient wisdom and knowledge. And so you have toxic feminine energies trying to teach an ancient perspective that they haven't even activated within themselves. Because let me tell you something, unless you've done the work on a vibrational frequency to access this wisdom and this knowledge, you have no business teaching it. Sit your ass down. You are teaching toxic perspectives and philosophies on this energy and on this power. Before I go off on a tangent, listen, because we're going to dive into that in just a bit. My mission and my purpose here through Alcheminity, okay, is helping women to remember that this power is available within them to activate once they've done the work on a spiritual level, once they've done the work on a mental level, once they've done the work on an emotional level. This power will awaken in you. It will rise up in you. It will activate in you once you reach that vibrational frequency within. Okay? You can go and read all the books on feminine power. You can go and read all the books on alchemy, but unless you do this work, actually do this work, unless you've traveled on the Dark Night of the Soul Odyssey, ain't nothing awakening or activating in you. Why? Because the serpent kundalini dragon fire has become much more intelligent. It will not allow toxic people to access its lair anymore. Y'all seen that movie when you enter the dragon's lair? If you're not at a vibrational frequency, if you're not speaking the right language to that dragon's going to open up its mouth and it's going to project its fire and it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to consume you completely where there ain't nothing left for you, become pure ashes, or you're at a vibrational frequency where this fire doesn't just consume you, but it will refine you. So do not enter the dragon's lair unless you've been called, unless you've been chosen. Let's get into this message. Welcome to Alcheminity, because turning pain into power is sexy. I am your host and creator of this colony and the many colonies we're building around our globe, hell, around our galaxies at this point. I am your queen bee, Miss Burgess, if you're nasty, also known as Nova and the Gypsy Empress. Now let's get into this message. Shouts out to those of you who are newly subscribed here. I see you. Welcome to your colony. And if you feel so inclined, if you like those yummy, juicy, delicious, taboo, unorthodox, erotic deep dives as it relates to your personal development, your mental health, emotional intelligence, as it relates to your purpose, become a member over on patreon.com/alcheminity. That's where all of my most erotic content is, right? This is YouTube, so it's only so much I can say here, only so much I can do here. So if you like the deeper dives, become a member over on Patreon, okay? You can become a general support member, or you can become a come member, right? On Patreon is where, again, my most explicit content is. So videos, photos, erotic articles, again, as it relates to your personal development. This is all about connecting to your sensual and sexual energy to remember who you are and why you've come to this planet. This is all about connecting and remembering your body's mission and purpose through your sensual and sexual energy. What we're supposed to be doing as women, not just as women, but as divine feminines with our sensual and sexual energy. Your pussy's power, okay? The power of your pussy can do more than just bring babies into the world, okay? We need to be, with our pussy powers combined, we're Captain fucking Planet, okay? For my 90s babies, if y'all remember Captain Planet, with our powers combined, we're Captain Planet. With our pussy powers combined, baby, hey! Whew. Worlds are created. Wars are ended. You talking about United Nations? Women coming together, combining our pussy powers, that's uniting nations. That should be the new United Nations. Not just women, divine women who've done the work in and on themselves to become divine feminines, right? You've reached a vibrational frequency. Go. Can you imagine a council of divine feminine women who combine their pussy powers on the planet and become the new United Nations? Through you is how nations would truly be united. That's so arousing to think about. Ooh, that is so arousing to think about. That is how powerful our pussies are. But let's get into this message, y'all. Listen, don't forget to get your copy of Activate. All right. It's available on paperback and ebook in relation to activating in our power and our purpose and our pussies. Get your copy. Okay. I'm going to be looking down because I got some notes in front of me. So if you see me looking down, that's why. It helps me kind of stay on track. I have so many notes written down in front of me that I don't even have, because here on YouTube, I kind of, I go with the flow and spirit guides me to say this and say that in relation to what I wrote. And so I don't even get to cover every bullet point that I want to cover here on YouTube. So in those cases, I bring it over to Patreon. All right. If you want the extended version of this, it'll most likely be on Patreon. Again, the points I don't get to cover, I'll cover over on Patreon in a video format or an article format. So just know that there's avenues for you to get the full Monty. Let's get into it. Okay. Listen, again, this is the forbidden side of feminine energy that unlocks everything. Once again, this is the forbidden side of dark, divine, feminine energy, aka pussy power, that unlocks everything. All right, let's do this. So, what people think dark, divine, feminine, or pussy power is. Most people think that dark, divine, or feminine energy or pussy power energy, it's just this sweet, passive, overly nurturing, completely soft and agreeable energy, right? That cannot be further from half of the truth, right? Further from half of the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're supposed to be out here rah, rah, roar and bulldozing our way and pushing people and all. That's not where this energy is. As a matter of fact, I had a subscriber ask me to do a deep dive specifically on this topic of women teaching feminine energy and pussy power from a toxic perspective. Okay. I remember seeing it, and so this is for you. We're gonna be diving deep. So I hope you're watching this, girl. I remember seeing a video from, was it Juanita Bynum? Is she a preacher and a singer? Juanita Bynum. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. But I remember seeing this video of her that went viral a few years ago. And it was her and this young lady on stage. She was in a church and she was preaching a sermon. And she was saying, this is the year where you don't back down. This is a year where you don't back down. If a woman's standing there, you're supposed to walk up to her and be like, no, I ain't backing down. You back down. No, I'm standing right here. Right? Okay. I get it, Juanita, I get it. But do you know how many mentally ill, emotionally ignorant women took that and ran with it? Do you know how many toxic women took that and ran with it? Do you know how many women with serious mental illnesses took that shit and ran with it? Do you know how many jealous and bitter and competitive women took that idea and ran with it? You want to know what the biggest threat to women is right now? The biggest threat to women isn't the patriarchy. I've talked about this in my last episode. If you haven't listened to it, go and listen to it. The biggest threat to women isn't the patriarchy. It's other unhealed women. The biggest threat to women is other women. The biggest threat to women is groups of women who haven't done the work in and on themselves to heal. Who haven't done the work in and on themselves to develop their mental health, to get their minds right. The biggest threat to women are other women who are in toxic competition, who are emotionally ignorant. That's the biggest threat to women. It isn't the patriarchy. And by the way, I want to break something down about the patriarchy. The patriarchy includes women as well. As I said in my last episode, if there is a woman coming against another woman, 1444 on the timer right now, if there is a woman coming against a woman, I can guarantee you, if there's a man coming against a woman, I can guarantee you that there's a woman standing behind him, egging him on to do it. Yeah. Okay? So that's what people think, the feminine energy is. But there's a flip side to feminine energy. Okay. There's this shadow side to feminine energy that has been suppressed and demonized and vilified. And let me tell you why it's been suppressed and demonized and vilified. Not just because we were taught to do it, not just because we taught ourselves to do it, but because you had toxic women in positions of power trying to access the philosophies around pussy power and divine feminine energy who haven't done the work on themselves. The reason the shadow parts of the feminine energy and the shadow parts of pussy power and the shadow parts of sensuality and sexuality have been suppressed and demonized and frowned upon and hidden in society, not talked about, too taboo, too unorthodox to talk about, is because you had unhealthy women using sex as a weapon, unhealthy, mentally unhealthy, and emotionally unintelligent women trying to access ancient wisdom to put it on Tyrone and hope she can get him to buy her a bag. You have low vibrational women trying to access ancient wisdom, power, and energy. But guess what? As I've said before, you will not be able to access this energy anymore because this energy is now intelligent. It has grown up. It has taken a look at human nature, and it said them motherfuckers ain't gonna do right. They're not going to do right. We can't leave. We can't give them everything because they take it and run with it. They make it toxic. We cannot give it to them. Now you're going to have to reach a vibrational frequency to even access this energy, to commune with this energy, to tap into this. I don't care, again, how many books you read. I don't care how many kumbayas you do. Unless you go on the dark night of the soul journey in Odyssey and you learn from your demons, you sit down in front of your demons, right? You humble yourself in your shadows. You die over and over and over and over, and you are reborn over and over and over and over. You will not be able to access this energy. Those are the new rules going forward. That is your memo. That's the TBA. The TBA. That's the, what do you call it? PSA. Excuse me. That's the PSA. Okay? You didn't get the memo. Now you got it. Make sure you share the news. Okay? Because there's been so much toxicity in accessing this energy and talking about this energy, right? But when you access the shadow side of the feminine energy, which is the dark, divine feminine energy, when you access the shadow side of pussy power, okay, all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge that lives in the shadows of you, in your body and in your mind, okay, that is meant to be uplifting, empowering, healing. It was never meant to be used as a weapon. Not unless you need to protect yourself. Now, there's a difference. I'm not saying be a doormat. Obviously, we just said it. We just talked about it, that it's not this overly humble or overly soft side. You cannot be just beauty. You have to be beast, right? But you're supposed to be able to tap into your beast when it's a life-threatening situation, meaning you are being heavily pursued and your life is on the line. You got to be able to tap into your beast then. But if you're trying to tap into this ancient wisdom or trying to tap into your dark, sensual, divine energy, trying to tap into your beast, trying to tap into your dark, sensual side because you're in competition with somebody else, because you're insecure about yourself, it won't work for you anyway. Because remember, you're tapping into a fire. I'm seeing the burning bush the burning bush. That could go one or two ways. Okay. So I'm seeing the burning bush in my mind's eye from the biblical story about God. He was talking to somebody, Moses, I don't know. Okay. It's been a long time since I've cracked open the Bible and studied it, but I take what resonates and leave the rest. As you know, y'all know I'm not a very religious person. I'm a spiritual person. So I take what resonates and leave the rest, but I'm seeing that burning bush, right? So y'all know how my mind works. Okay. I can't help it. So the burning bush, the fire, the kundalini. Okay. Remember, you are working with a fire. And unless you're at a vibrational frequency to commune with this fire, it will consume you, meaning burn your ass up till there's nothing left, which is going to do that anyway. But for those of you who are not just called, but are chosen, there will be a rebirth. And this is where the phoenix rising comes from. The ashes that are there will be all the old shit, all of the old beliefs, all the masks you've worn, the you that you thought you were, all of the fake friendships, the frenemies, the toxic relationships, places you've lived, places you've worked. That's what all the ashes are. But then there's a whole new you that rises through those ashes. Again, if you are not a vibrational frequency, you'll just be ashes. Ain't nothing else rising up. Ain't nothing else new. Not in this lifetime. Maybe you'll try next lifetime. I guess to see you next lifetime. No hard feelings. Wait a little while. Okay. So let's keep going, y'all. Let's go to part 2. All right. The forbidden side. Again, the forbidden side only forbidden because, again, we've had toxic people tapping into unhealed, toxic, mentally ill, emotionally unintelligent people tapping into ancient wisdom, using sex as a weapon, using sensuality and sexuality as a weapon. I've given that example the example that I gave in my last episode from Penny Dreadful. If you haven't watched it, go and watch that episode, okay? So the forbidden side of this dark, divine, feminine energy of your pussy power, right? We're talking about sexual energy. We're talking about sexual magnetism, sensuality, emotional intelligence, intuitive wisdom, intuitive knowing. The dark feminine, okay, has boundaries, is seductive, has standards, right? But has healthy boundaries, healthy standards, okay? The seduction of the dark divine feminine side is her magnetism, it's her beauty, it is even her voice, the way that she sounds, the way that she moves, the way that she walks, even the way that she smells can be seductive. And now all of this comes up in the divine feminine energies that do the work in and on ourselves because it's coming up from past lives. In our past lives, many of you, and I talk about this over on Patreon, so I'm not going to deep dive here because it's not meant for it here. But in past lives, many of you were the high priestesses who shared your wisdom via temples. Many of you were the high priestesses in past lifetimes who were you actually healed. You were healers through your sensual and sexual energy. How do you become healers? Via your sensual and sexual energy? Become a member over on Patreon. Listen to the Sacred Sex Goddess series. Okay? All right? So, let's keep going. Let me just reiterate again. This is the forbidden side of feminine energy that unlocks everything. Okay? So this side leads to confidence. It leads to you being choosy. I'm hearing choosy love. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad you chose me, baby, baby. And I'll make you so happy. Boom, boom. Some of them are going to be singing that to y'all because you're choosy love. Let me tell you something when you tap into this dark divine pussy power, because you've done the work in and on yourself and because you can at this point. You become choosy lover and they're going to be singing this to you when you meet them. If you know, you know. Let me tell you, when you become a choosy lover after tapping into this energy because you've reached a vibrational match and frequency to tap into this energy, it is respected. It is a turn on. It's sexy. You are such a turn on. You are turning people on so much because you are choosy. And the reason you're choosy is because you know how powerful your pussy is. The reason you're choosy is because you know that your pussy is a portal. You have to be choosy. For my ladies who listened to my episodes in the past where I talked about childbearing, many of you are choosing either not to have children or not have any more children as activated alchemists and chosen divine feminines. Once you tap into your dark side, the shadow side of your pussy and of your feminine energy, you will decide to not have children or not have any more children. And if you do decide to have children, you would have gotten all the intuitive insights, all of the downloads from spirit, from your ancestors, from the ancient ones, from God. You would have had the epiphanies, the dreams. You and your mate would be having the same dreams and epiphanies about this being that you're supposed to bring to the world, because this being that you're bringing to the world is going to help save the world, essentially. If you decide to, you're going to be giving birth to like a superhero. Literally, you're going to be giving birth to giants. Oh, become a member over on Patreon. Listen to the Sacred Sex Goddess series. I talk about that in there. If there's any women that should be giving birth, be the divine feminine women who've done the work in and on themselves, giving birth, procreating with divine masculine energies who have done the work and continue to do the work in and on themselves. Can you imagine? Can you imagine activated alchemists, YouTube, chosen activated alchemists, high vibrational cocks and vaginas coming together and procreating life? Can you imagine what that being would come out to be? Right. Okay. So you're choosy with your yoni, you're choosy with your pussy. And this is very respectable. Many of you are practicing abstinence and celibacy, not because you're waiting for the one, not because you're waiting for marriage, but because you know how important it is to only allow worthy cocks to enter. There's so much I can say here. I cannot. I think I've probably gone too far already. Again, become a member over on Patreon. So let's keep going. The dark feminine side that you activate, and you have access after you activate because you reach your vibrational frequency to do so, to access this energy. You're not afraid to be desired anymore, because you've done the work to heal the trauma. Maybe you've experienced sexual trauma. By the way, sexual trauma can show up in toxic relationships. Like, people think, well, I wasn't molested or raped growing up, so I didn't have any sexual trauma. If you were in an unhealthy, toxic relationship and you were having sex or intercourse with somebody who was toxic, that is a form of sexual trauma, because your womb will remember the unhealthy energy you were receiving from somebody's penis. Through somebody's penis. It will remember that. Your womb will remember that. Your vagina will remember that. Your body remembers that. Think about it. When you think about somebody who you were with and y'all were intimate, you were with it for some time. When you think back on that person, you'll be like, ugh, what was I thinking? What was I thinking being with them? Yeah. All right. When that energy comes up, it is the memory of your body, okay, that's coming up, remembering how unhealthy that was for you. And so if that comes up where you're having that type of reaction, that means there's still some clearing out to do via your root chakra. And so when you do this work in and on yourself and you think back on that person, you won't feel gross. You won't feel the ick so much, because the energy is cleared, because you've done the work on a root chakra level. If it does come up, it'll be more of a lesson. It'll be more of a, wow, girl, you sure come a long way. I'm so proud of you. Wow. You don't even attract those type of men anymore. Like, they may look at you when you walking, but they dare not approach. Right? Oh, so you're not afraid to be desired because you've healed on a root chakra level. Your desire doesn't feel immoral. It doesn't feel like a sin. Again, for those who have experienced some sort of sexual trauma through rape or molestation, okay, I talk about this in my book. Make sure you get your copy. Activate. It's available on paperback and in paperback on an ebook on Amazon. But if you've experienced some sort of sexual trauma like rape or molestation, you feel it. You feel the ick of desire, because when you were desired before, your body remembers that being desired attracted some sort of pain via the sexual assault that you may have experienced. Okay. For those who, I don't go into sex trafficking or forced prostitution or all of those things. I talk about it in the book. Go and get your copy. Okay. But so your body remembers that. It remembers when it was desired before. This person who you didn't want to touch you touched you. This person you didn't want to enter you entered you. Right? Whether you were a child or maybe even as an adult. Okay. So once you heal and do this work on a root chakra level, okay, this fire, when it raises up through you, this Kundalini serpent dragon energy, when this fire raises up from your inner dragon, from your serpent, okay, it burns all of that away and refines everything else that you were always meant to become and unbecome. Leaving behind the confidence is what it leaves behind. The beauty is what it leaves behind. Remembering who you are is what it leaves behind. All of the ashes of the things that were never meant to come with you where you're going, right? It's burned away. This energy is not ashamed to take up space. And it also knows that not that it's a prize, okay? It's not that it's a prize, but it knows its value and its contributions to the world. Again, this energy knows it's a portal. And I want to go back to it's not ashamed to take up space. Going back to the Juanita Bynum, I think that's the name. Correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. But going back, remember that video I gave the description of where I'm standing here. No, I ain't getting now. You get now, right? That was supposed to be a depiction of not being afraid to take up space. But there was a toxic side of that traveled throughout the female community that did not serve us. If anything, it pushed us further behind. It put us in toxic competition with one another. You spreading making your shoulders all wide and standing with your chest. When who said that? Kevin Hart? When Kevin Hart said say it with your chest, it wasn't for us. Okay? We don't say it with our chest. We say it with our pussies. I'm going to end it right here. Listen, if you want the deeper dive to this, if you want the extended version to this, okay? Become a member over on patreon.com/Alcheminity. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like this. I know that you did. If you hear it, Alcheminity, I know that you did. Okay. So if you did, click the like button. Make sure you share this video. Get Alcheminity up in the algorithm. Okay. We should be receiving way more views and way more subscribers with the knowledge and the wisdom that is coming through me to you. So make sure you're sharing this so Alcheminity can get in the algorithm and so that our alchemists can find us. Okay. They need to know that Alcheminity is here and that they're not alone. The only way you can do that is if you share this content. All right. Again, don't forget to get your copy of Activate, become a member on Patreon. For those of you who are ready to work one-on-one with me in activating your power, your purpose through your pussy, remembering the power of your pussy, then reach out to me, email me. The information is in the description box below. One-on-one exclusives are now available. So I'm releasing 2 different versions for the new year. There's still the 4-week long deep dive intensive with me. And then there's also a full day experience with me. Okay. If you'd like to know more for the new year, because I'm all booked up for the rest of this year. So for the new year, starting January 2026, one-on-one exclusives will be available in the new year. Okay. So go ahead, reach out to me so you can book your spot for the new year. It's already filling up. I'm just thankful that I'm a vessel. Okay. Again, email me. Information in the description box below. I'll see y'all. I'll speak to y'all. This is going long enough. And the next episode. Ciao for now.